In the last session, we learned about two-argument predicate called BiPredicate. Java designers defined two-argument function for consumers too. Two-argument consumer is similar to the single-argument function, except that we have two input parameters and the name of the function is called BiConsumer. The definition of BiConsumer function is here. The BiConsumer is expecting two input parameters. One is type T, another one is type U. The abstract single method is accept, which takes in those two parameters and do something with them but returns nothing. Say we want to apply a certain percentage of bonus for an employee. The BiConsumer lambda expression, we can write it as here. So here we have an employee bonus consumer which takes in two parameters, employee and bonus. And we simply create a printout statement saying that this particular employee is receiving this percentage of bonus. Obviously, you can do persisting of this information or notifying to some other system. It's up to us what we can do in the consumer. So let's test this one in our method. I have an employee defined here who is getting a 5% bonus, and we simply use the test BiConsumer invocation by passing those two values. We also look at the salary hike in a second, but for now, let's look at how this particular method can be invoked by using employee bonus consumer function. As you can see, employee is given as the output. Let me expand this one. So we have an employee set for 5% of bonus. This is what is being provided on the console. So employee XYZ is set for percentage D. This consumer is now taking two parameters, and we are simply printing out the result to the console. Remember, consumer functions operate using side effects. Now there's a default method defined on the BiConsumer interface called AND_THEN. This method is used to compose a BiConsumer function using two other BiConsumer functions. In addition to the employee bonus consumer, we may have defined another one called salary hike consumer. This BiConsumer takes in two parameters, employee and salary, and simply prints out saying that this particular employee is destined to receive a X amount of salary hike. Now we got two consumers. One is an employee bonus consumer, another one is an employee salary hike consumer. If our requirement is to apply bonus followed by salary hike for an employee, we can combine these two functions using AND_THEN and create a new function. So let's see how we can do that. So the employee bonus and hike consumer is a new consumer created using the bonus consumer and the salary hike consumer. The AND_THEN method, the default method defined on the BiConsumer itself, is used to chain these two consumers together to produce another consumer. So in this case, the employee is given a certain amount of bonus. Also, he is going to be given salary hike. So the employee bonus consumer will be evaluated first in these given arguments. The result of the function is then passed on to the second consumer function, which is then going to be evaluated. So we stop here and take a break, and when we come back, we look at the two-argument function interface.